Welcome to Engineers Academy. Subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to receive the notification for the upcoming videos. Today in this lesson we are going to solve this problem 27. So we will write the script file for this, right? So in this problem it is said that an ideal diode blocks the flow of current in the direction opposite to that of the diode's current, the diode's arrow symbol, right? So if the current direction is like this, in the direction of this diode symbol, right, so then it will allow that current. And if the current direction is this, right, so then it will not allow this current, right? So then this diode can be used as a half wave rectifier, right? So if this is positive, right, so if the voltage supplied, so if this is the positive terminal and if this is the negative terminal, so if this is positive and this is negative terminal, so the current will flow, right? But if this is the positive terminal and if this is the negative terminal, so then it will block that current and there will be no output voltage, right? So here it says that for the ideal diode the voltage VL, so this is the voltage VL across the load, right? So this is load. So the voltage across the load is equal to the Vs value if it is positive. If the input signal is greater than equal to 0, if it is positive, so then the voltage drop at load will be that same voltage value, right? And if the input signal is less than equal to 0, so then there will be no current in this current flowing in this load, so then VL will be equal to 0, right? And this problem says that suppose the supply voltage is this, right? So if this is the supply voltage, this is a sinusoidal but decaying signal, right? So then it will decay gradually, right? So this is that signal, right? So if the signal is positive, so then the current will flow in this load, and if the signal is negative, right, so then there will be no current flow and the voltage drop at load will be 0, right? So where time t is in seconds, so here the time t is in seconds, so we need to write a MATLAB program to plot the voltage VL versus t, right? So we need to plot VL versus t. We need to have this plot, voltage at load versus t, right? So what we will do is we will plot also Vs, right, so that we can see the comparison, right? So now, as I have told you people that the solution of every problem doesn't exist in for loop, right? So here I have written two script files for this problem. One is the use of for loop and one is the use of logical arrays, right? So we will compare both, right? So one is the use of for and if else, and one is the use of logical arrays, right? So here what I did is that I will generate a T matrix. It's a row vector from 0 to 10, right? And the spacing is 0.1. So it will generate a matrix of size 1 cross 101. So it will have 101 elements, 101 columns, right? So it is a row matrix. So then it will find for each value of T, it will find the Vs value, right, using this equation. So this will also have this same size, right? So the size of T and Vs will be same. Then what we will do is that we will write for K. K is a loop variable, so then we have written that from 1 until the length of T. Normally what you people do is that when you people use the loop variable as an address, so then the loop address couldn't be started from 0. So then when you people use the loop variable as an address, so then start it from 1, right? So we haven't seen that we have a matrix. Let's suppose if we have this T matrix, so we have T of 0 address. So the first element of T will always have 1 address, so T of 1. So the addresses always start from 1, right? So and they cannot be negative, right? So here I have started the K value, the loop variable, from 1, right? So then what it will do is that it will check if the Vs of 1, initially when we enter the for loop, so the K value will be 1, so it will check if Vs of 1, so the first value of 1, if it is greater than 0, so what it will do that it will store that Vs of 1 value in VL of 1. It will generate another VL matrix and it will store the first value of Vs here, right, if that value is greater than 0. If that value is not greater than 0, if that is less than or equal to 0, so then what it will do, instead of that value, it will store the 0 value, right? So then there will be no voltage drop in the load, right? So if the input signal value is less than or equal to 0, right? And then what this two instruction lines will do is that it will generate a result matrix. It will generate a result matrix with two rows, right? The first row will be the input signal, right? And this will be the output voltage. I can say that this will be Vs values and this will be VL values, right? So initially when we are in the for loop, so then this will be result 1 1. The K value is 1. So 1 1, first row and first column. So what it will do is that it will store the Vs1 value in the first row and first column of result. So initially when we enter t equal to 0, so Vs will have 0 value, right? So the initial value of Vs will be 0, right? So then it will check if Vs for the initial Vs of 1, if it is greater than 0, so it will not be greater than 0, so it will directly jump here. So then VL of K, so it will have 0 value, so it will store this 0 value, right? So then when we come here, so then the initial value Vs of 1 will be 0, so it will store 0 here, right, in the result matrix. And then the second instruction, what the second instruction does is that the K value is 1 again, and then this is 2, so first row second column. So it will replace the VL of K value, whatever the value is stored here. Either if it is in this line, so it will store the Vs value in VL of K. If it is here, so it will store 0. So for the initial first value of Vs, so it will store 0 here, right? And as we can see that the second value will be some positive value. We will be going in this direction, right? So that will be positive value. So again, when we come into the second pass or into the second iteration, so then the K value will be 2, right? So the K value will be 2. So then it will check Vs of 2. The second value of Vs, if it is greater than 0, so then it will execute this line, and it will store that value in VL of K, right? So then it will not come here. So then what it will do, it will add. Now the K value will be 2, right? So 2 and 1, so second row and first column, right? So then it will add another value of Vs, and this will be Vs of 2 value, right? And if that Vs of 2 value is positive, right, not equal to less than 0, so then this value will be also Vs of 2, right? So here if the values are positive, so then that will be stored the same as here. And if the value here is negative, right, so then they will be replaced by zeros in this output signal, right? So this is the function of this script file. And then what we will do is that we will plot result. So until now we used to plot t result, right? So we used to plot this, or x and y. Now I just wrote here as plot result. So what this will do, what will be the value of x-axis? What will be the values on x-axis? So the value of x-axis will be the number of rows, right? So it will check for first row. So it will take, let's suppose the t value will be 1, let's suppose. So it will start from t value of 1, right? So it will plot this result against the number of rows, right? So it will plot for t equals to 1, so it will plot this row. Then for the second for the second row, let me write it n, right? So then it will plot that, right? So if we do not provide the x values to plot function, so then what it does, that it plots the column of this matrix against the rows, right? So it will plot that result against the rows. So now let's check this in MATLAB. Now let me run this step by step. So I will put a breakpoint here and I will run this. So let me run this. So now as we see that we are here, right? So we are in the first iteration of the for loop. So the K value is 1, right? So then here what it will do is that it will generate a result matrix. If I step in, right? So then this is the result matrix, and the first value of the result is the Vs of 1 value. So the first Vs value is 0, right? And what this line will do is that it will add the second column to this result matrix. Now as we see that this result matrix has a size of 1 cross 1, right? But when this line executes, so then it will have 2 columns. So if I step in, so it have 2 columns, right? This value is 0, right? So then there will be no voltage drop, right? This value is not positive. This is the input signal, right? So the input signal is 0. So then there will be no voltage drop at the output load, right? So if I step in again, So here we see that when we are in the second iteration, the k value is 2, so then it will check vs of 2. So see here, so whether we enter the if statement or else statement, right? So if I step in, so we are here, so this means that the vs of 2 value is positive, right? So if I step in, so what it will do, that it will store the vs of 2 value in vl of k, right? So vl of 2, so the second value of vl of 2 will be the second value of vs of 2, right? So if I step in, so here we can see that it will add another row to this result, right? And that second row and first element will be the second value of vs. So if I step in, so as we see that the second value of vs is 0.8967, and this value is positive, right? It is not equal to 0 or less than 0, right? So what this instruction will do is that it will replace this 0 by this value, right? So these are the output voltages, these are the VL, this second column of the result is the VL values, and this first column of the result is the original signal values, right? So if I step in again, so as we see that this value is positive, so that value is retained, that value is stored, right? So if I step in again, so now the k value will be 3, the vs of 3 value will be positive, right? So that is positive, so it executed this line. Now that value is positive, so it is stored here, right? And now this value is positive, so then it will replace this 0, it will update this 0 by this value, right? So there will be a voltage drop of 1.6496 at the load, right? So if I step in, so this value, so now if I step in until the k equal to 11, right? So if I step in again and again, so now this value is negative, right? So if this value is negative, so then if checked that vs of 12 value is not greater than 0, so it jumped here, and then it has stored a value of 0 in the VL, right? And then it has replaced this value with 0, right? So we will see 0 in place of negative or in place of 0 values, right? So now if I step in again, right, so again the value is negative, right? So it is negative, so it has replaced that value by 0, right? So it hasn't updated this 0, right? So if I step in again, so as we see this value is also negative, so it will generate zeros until and unless these values become positive, right? So if I step in, so now as we see here that this value is positive, the input signal is positive, right? So then it executed this line, right? So when it executed this line, so it has stored that vs value in VL, right? So we have this VL output signal, so then we have stored this value, right? So then there will be this much voltage drop at load, right? So now if I step in again, right, so all the positive values will be stored and the negative and 0 values will be replaced by 0, right? If I run, so it will check all 101 values of Vs, right? Right, so let me remove this breakpoint and let me run, right? So now what we did is that we have plotted that result. So plot result, right, and the line width is 1.5. I have increased the line width, right? And then the legends. So legends are input signal and output signal. So this is input signal, output signal, right? And then X label. So X label is T second, Y label is VL volts, right? So and then this is the new instruction, new function for you people. What it does is that it select the range of X values, right? So the axis values. So now the range is from 0 to 100. Now let's suppose if I want to have only the T values from 0 to 50, I want to only see the values from 0 to 50. So if I run this again, let me run this, right, and let me check the plot. So as we see that we have changed that range, right? So now we will see from 0 to 50, right? Similarly, we can change the Y range as well, right? So we will write square brackets 0, right? The minimum value of 0 x-axis, right? And then the maximum value for the x-axis, and then the minimum value for the y-axis, and the maximum value for the y-axis. Now if I write that I don't want to have between -2 and 3, I want to have between -3 and 3. So what I will do, I will write -3, So if I write -3 and if I run this again, right, so we have the values, the y-axis range is between -3 and 3, right, and the t range is between 0 and 50, right. So if I change this again, if I write 100, right, and if we see, right, and if we see this orange, so this orange one is the output signal and this blue one is the input signal. This is the complete signal, right. The output signal is on the top of the input signal, so that blue line is not visible here, right, but it is there. So as we see that when the signal is positive, so then there is a voltage drop at load, and when the signal is less than or equal to 0, so then there is no voltage drop. So we can see flat line here, right. So this is the function of half wave rectifier, right. Now if we check this code for this same problem, right, so then this code uses, this script file uses the logical arrays, right. So again I have generated this T matrix. It will be a size of 1 cross 101. Then it will find the VS values for each T, and then in this third line what I did is that I have stored this VS, this input signal in another variable VSO, right. So here I have written that this is the original input voltage, so VS original, right. Why I did this is that I want to modify this VS later on, right. So I have kept that input signal in this another variable, right. So then in this instruction what I did is that I wrote here that VS is less than equal to 0. So if we write VS is less than equal to 0, if we only write this instruction, so what it will do is that it will generate a logical array. It will generate a logical array and it will check each and every element of VS, and whichever element is less than equal to 0, so what it will do, it will replace 1, right. So it will check if the first value of VS is less than equal to 0, so then if that is less than equal to 0, so it will write 1 here, and if the value is positive, so it will write 0, right. So it will write zeros until the 12th value, right, and until when the value becomes negative, so then it will write 1, right. So it will generate a logical array of zeros and 1. So ones, wherever there are ones, so we will have the VS values at that location, the VS value will be negative, right. And then if I provide this logical array as an index, so if I write this logical array, if I provide this logical array as an address, so what this will do, what this instruction will do, if I equate this equal to 0, so in the VS matrix we will provide this as an address. So then wherever there are ones in this logical array, what it will do is that it will replace all those elements in VS with 0, right. So whatever we write here, so it will modify that VS matrix according to these ones and 0. So wherever there are zeros, so it will retain those values in VS, and wherever there are 1, it will replace those values by this 0 value. If we wrote here 0, if I wrote 2, so then it will replace all those values by 2. So here in our requirement we need to have 0, right. So I have replaced all those values of VS which are less than or equal to 0 by zeros, right, using this logical array as an address. So this is very important, right. And then what I did is that for you people I have generated a comparison matrix. It's not required, right. So I have generated a comparison matrix so that you people can see. So the comparison matrix will have 3 columns, right. So first column will be the original VS, right. Then it will have logical array that we have generated, and the third will be the VL values, that the output signal, right, the modified VS. So we will have that modified VS, this will be VS original, right. So I have written here that this comparison matrix, this will be VS of original values, and then I will jump into the second row, right. So then the second row will be the VS, the logical array, right. So it will generate that logical array, and then the third row will be the VS values, the modified VS values, right. And then I took the transpose, right. If I do not take the transpose, so then the size of this matrix will be 3 cross 101, right. So So I want to have this comparison matrix to be a 100 by 3, right? So I took the transpose of this, right? So we will see that comparison matrix will be like this, right? So it will be a 100 by 3 matrix, right? And then we will generate the result, right? So we will generate the result. So the dimensions of the result will be 101 cross 2, right? So there will be 101 rows and 2 columns. So I will pick the first column, the original VS signal from comparison, and the third column, that is the output signal from the comparison matrix, and I will store them in result, and then I will perform the same operation for plotting, right? So let's check this in MATLAB. So now if I run this, right, so we have that same result, right? And if we check this, so we have this comparison matrix. So this is this comparison matrix, right? So this first column of the comparison matrix is the original signal. This is the logical array. It checks whether the value is positive or negative or equal to 0. And this is the output signal, that is the output voltage at load, right? So now as we see here that wherever there are ones, right, so we will have zeros in the output, right? So these ones will mean that the original signal is negative or equal to 0, right? So if it is 0, so then we will have 1 here, right? So if it is negative, so we will have 1 here. So this is that logical array, right? And when it is negative, so then there will be no voltage drop at the load. So we will have zeros here, right? So wherever there are ones, we will have zeros in the output signal. And wherever there are ones in the logical array, we will have negative values in the input signal, right? So this is the comparison matrix, right? And now if I write result, so result will have the first column of comparison matrix and the third column of comparison matrix, right? So I have removed this logical array, right? So here we can see that I wrote that comparison all rows first column, comparison all rows third column, right? So I have stored that first and third column in result, right? And then I plotted this result. So then when I plot this result against the number of rows, so we will have this, right? Now if you want to plot this result against t, so what we will do, we will write here is, we will write t and result. I will only change this, right? So if I run this again, so now we need to change the range, right? So here we have in the axis, I wrote here that from 1 until the length of t, right? So the length of t is 100, right? So now we want to have the final value of t. So the final value of t is 10. So the range for t for the x-axis is now from 1 to 10, right? So now if I run this, right, so now this is the accurate plot, right? So if I run this again, right, so if let me run it, so if I put 0, so now the t value is from 0 to 10, right? So now if I run this, so from 0 to 10 seconds we have this graph, right? So the previous method was not accurate, right? So if I write again, if I only plot result, so then we have to provide this as a 101 or 100, right? So then if I run this, so this plot was VL versus the number of rows, right? So that was not the original t values, right? So this is from 0 to 100, right? So these are only integers, positive integers. So in the problem, it is asked that we need to plot the graph between VL and t, right? So when we need to plot the graph between VL and t, so then we need to write t here, right? So that I use that method just for you people, that you people should learn this, that whether if people do not provide the x-axis value, so then the plot function will plot the graph against the number of rows, right? So now you people know this. So we need to write, now here I will write length, sorry, I need to write the last value of t, right? So if I write 0 to 10, so if I run this, right, and now if we comment this, so MATLAB will automatically select its own ranges, right? So default ranges. So if I run this again, so we have no effect of this, right? So we are not modifying this. But if we If you people want to modify the signal, if you people want to see the graph between 0 and 5 seconds, so then we will write 0 to 5, right? So if I run this, so now the graph is between 0 to 5 seconds, right? So we have this graph, this plot. So I hope you people would have understood this. So if there is any question in this problem, you people can ask in the comment section and let me know if there is any problem, right?